Try to look at it from a customer point of view and think, well, if I received this, would I be impressed? Would I want to do business with this person? Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm not going to say welcome back because literally I haven't posted a YouTube video in forever. So I thought it was about time that I came up with some new content. So today I want to talk about 6 practical steps that you can take to start your own brand. I have worked with lots of business owners, small and large, and there are certain steps that everybody should take if they want to start their brand off on the right track. So the first step to starting your own business, very simple, come up with your business name. Coming up with a business name is a really important first step because the business name is obviously what you're going to be known for, and it's going to be around for a long time, assuming that your business is successful. So you may already have a business name in mind, in which case, great, you're all sorted. If you don't really know what you want to call your business yet, then get onto Google, do some searches, put in some keywords, start throwing around some ideas. I love to write lists. So if I have an idea for something, I'll just sit down, pen and paper, and just start doing like sort of word association, words that I like, words that feel inspiring, that I feel represent what my business is going to offer. You might want to go with a real sort of functional name. If you're a massage therapist, for example, you might want that to form part of your name. So there's one less thing you have to think about. So once you've got your name all sorted, you need to register it with ASIC if you're in Australia. So go to the ASIC website and it's very easy, minimal cost from memory to actually register the business name. And lock that in and secure that so nobody else can take that. And then there will be some ongoing renewal fees. I'm actually not quite sure from memory now how often you have to pay them, but it's not that often and it's not that expensive. So get that one done, tick that off your list. Second step in starting your own brand is to register your domain. So if you don't know what a domain is, very simply, it's your web address, your www. whatever it's going to be. Again, I would recommend having your service or product in the domain. So mine is www.kyotodesignmarketing.com.au. It'll help with Google searching. So try to get that in there if you can. Register the .com.au, register the .com, and also register a new one which is becoming available now, which is just .au, which is going to be specifically for Australian websites. Really important that you do have the website with the .com.au as your main one, and that may go to .au as the main one down the track. I'm not entirely sure yet. Because that sort of shows people that you're an Australian website, and if your customer base is here in Australia, then that's what you want. Now, where to go to register your domain? Pretty easy. If you just search in domain registration, you'll get a whole host of people. I've used several companies, but mainly I use Cheap Domains here in Australia. There's Aussie Domains, there's endless options. So you shouldn't really have to pay more than like maybe $16 to $25 every 12 months for your domain. So if you're getting charged more than that, check it out. You might be getting ripped off. Okay, the third step with setting up your own brand is then to set up some custom email, like a personalized email address with your business address. Nothing looks more unprofessional, I don't think, than when you receive an email from someone's personal address that says, Natalie123@gmail.com. It's not a great look. It doesn't make you look like your proper business. So when you set up your domain, say you're going through Cheap Domains, for example, you can then also set up email through them, or you can set up email through Gmail, which is what I use. So I've got my domain name registered with Cheap Domains, and then through Gmail, I've then set up my business email, and there is a cost for that as well. A monthly charge. I feel like it's around $10 a month from Google to have the business email address set up. But that way I'm looking really professional, and that's what I want. Really important to have that really great first impression. Okay, so after we've got our email set up, then we can set up our web hosting. Probably not essential to do this at this stage, but there's a reason why I'm saying to do it now. So web hosting can be a confusing topic. So I'll just explain to you how it works. You've got your domain host, which we've already worked out is like your Cheap Domains or someone like that. You've then got a web host. Now you can get a web host, domain host in one, or they can be separate. The web host is who is hosting your website on their servers. The domain host is just where you've registered your domain. So they're either two separate things or they're one together. So you could go, if you want to have a WordPress website, then you could go to somewhere like Bluehost or SiteGround, and you could do it all in one. You could go to them, you could purchase your domain, and then you could also set up your web hosting. There's also the option of going through a web host reseller. So a reseller, I'm a reseller, so I host client websites myself. So I've got an account with a company called Panther Australia. I have like a reseller account with them, and then I could go to you as a client and say, I'm going to design your website for you. I will host it, and then I will charge you a yearly fee to host that website. And then I'm paying Panther, you're paying me. Now, of course, I'm going to put a bit of a margin on the service that I offer because I'm hosting it and I'm paying Panther, but I'm also doing regular updates for you. I'm maintaining your website. I'm making sure that it's running smoothly. So that takes the hassle away from you. But then you are paying me that little bit extra. You could pay someone like Panther or SiteGround or Bluehost. You could pay them directly for your web hosting. You'd get it for cheaper, but then you wouldn't have that extra level of service that a reseller would often offer. But, big but, a lot of resellers highly inflate the margin that they're making. And this really annoys me because I see a lot of businesses who feel a little bit sort of hand-tied to their web host because they're not entirely sure how it works and they're not sure exactly what they're paying for, and they're getting massively overcharged, like massively. So a yearly web hosting cost, I mean, if you go through SiteGround, you can get it for a couple $100 a year, even cheaper sometimes. So it really doesn't have to be expensive. So if you've got someone who's charging you hundreds or thousands of dollars, like if they're charging you hundreds a month, then no, find someone else because they're overcharging you. So that really annoys me, that one, because I have had so many clients come to me who don't understand exactly what web hosting is, and you know, as a result, they're really getting ripped off. So I don't like that. So we've registered our business name, our domain, we've got our professional business email so that we look really sharp, and we've got our web hosting all sorted. Now, with the web hosting, the reason I'm saying to do it now rather than to wait is because I would like you to set up a coming soon page. As soon as you've got the web hosting sorted, I know you don't have anything else yet. I know you don't have your logo, your brand, nothing sorted, but the sooner that you get your coming soon page up, the sooner that you can start to be indexed in Google. So you can either have a designer, web designer like myself or someone else set that up for you, or if you're a bit tech savvy, you can do that yourself. Use a WordPress, or one web hosting option that I didn't actually discuss, very remiss of me, is to use a platform like Squarespace or Weebly or Wix, like one of those packaged web design options. Not a favorite of mine, only because I'm a web designer and I prefer to be able to make things a bit more custom, but it could be totally perfect for your business. It's a nice, easy, simple option. And if you don't have the budget for a web designer, it's something you can do yourself. So brilliant, forgot about that. So even on one of those platforms, you should also be able to set up a coming soon page just to get you indexed in Google, add some details, add some SEO. So SEO is search engine optimization. Add some details into that area of your website just to let Google know exactly what your website's going to be about. That way it knows how and where to index you, and it just starts that ball rolling, because when you launch a website, it can take months and months and months to get, to first, second, even third page. And a lot of people think that as soon as they put their website out there, it should be first page. No, it takes time. So the sooner you can get something out there, the better. Okay, so what step are we up to? We're up to step 5, the all important branding. Now this is the fun stuff. I do sometimes have clients come to me and they haven't yet done all these other steps, but they have a logo and they're very proud of the logo that either they've designed or their nephew's designed or someone's designed, but they haven't done all the pre-work that, you know, goes into designing a logo. So I would encourage you to resist the urge to jump straight into the logo design. There's other things that you should work on first, and there may be things that you already know in your head, but you just haven't sort of put down on paper. And I would really encourage you to do that, because it can open so many other avenues of thought that maybe you hadn't considered. So when coming up with your branding, and I will do another whole video on this process because it's quite detailed, but you need to give thought to exactly how you want to position your brand in the market. You need to look at your target audience, their needs, wants, their desires, how you're going to satisfy those. You need to look at your brand personality. You know, what do you want to stand for? What sort of, you know, vibe do you want to put out there? Are you serious? Are you playful? There's lots of factors that come into your branding outside of just the logo design. If you work with a brand designer, they'll help to draw all this information out of you. If that's sort of out of the budget and you need to go down a cheaper option, maybe you have to design the logo yourself on Canva. Maybe you're using like a logo, like a 99 Designs type website or a Fiverr where you can get something done really cheaply. That's fine too. We have to work within our budgets, but take that time to develop the thoughts around your brand before you dive into the design. It will really help you to narrow down the choices, because particularly on somewhere like Fiverr or 99 Designs, you'll get bombarded with lots of options and it can get really overwhelming. And if you haven't done the proper work, you could be drawn towards just a design that you like as opposed to what is going to appeal to your audience. Okay, so brand strategy, really, really important. I will do a video about it, which may be sort of all you need to get yourself started. So the 6th step in setting up your brand is to set yourself up a social media account. You may not be a great fan of social media, but for a business, I feel like it is important. Some people go to Google and look at websites. Other people will go to social media to look for customer reviews, testimonials. They want to get a feel for the business in a more personal way than perhaps a website can offer. So I would suggest starting up 1 or 2 social media accounts. I tend to prefer Facebook and Instagram, but it really depends on, you know, what your product and service is and how your customers look for information about your business. So do a little bit of research, see what your competitors are doing. Really important to do competitive research. And yeah, set yourself up some accounts. Make them look professional though. Always professional. Always keep in mind that obviously, you know, you can't make that first impression a second time. You want to go out strong first time. So anytime you're going out and with any kind of communication, make sure it looks amazing. If you haven't got a logo designed, don't go out with something temporary or something that you've just done yourself. So always keep it professional. So, you know, if you're sending an email, if you're doing a social media post, whatever it is, make sure it looks really great, okay? Try to look at it from a customer point of view and think, well, if I received this, would I be impressed? Would I want to do business with this person? So first impressions matter. Make them count. I hope these 6 steps to starting your brand have been helpful. I'll put a few links to ASIC and things like that down below. If you've got any questions, please comment. Don't forget to subscribe, like, notification bell, all that stuff that they say. Yes. All right, guys. Thank you. See you next time.